on YouTube? It is your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, and in today's video, man, we are back at it with another 3D tuning video. So as always, we're gonna jump into it. Don't have anything in mind in particular as to what I want to build today. But as we often do around this time, we are going to skim through a few of our options. Now, skimming through Ford's vehicles here, was looking for the new Bronco. I thought if it was on here, it would be a good opportunity for us to do the Bronco here on the channel, since we've only had a couple of opportunities in games to even drive or play with the new Bronco. However, looking through a couple options, noticing quite a few trucks that I would like to do. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, the pickup trucks are locked here, but I'm also seeing the Explorer here. Now, if you guys know, we did the Crown Victoria Interceptor build. I'm not sure when I'm going to be uploading these videos or in what order, but yeah, we did the Crown Victoria Interceptor build, and I think we're going to go ahead and do the Ford Explorer version to go ahead and match that. Now, I'm hoping, because this is an SUV and not a pickup truck, that we do have access to all of the modifications here. We're going to find out right now. And it doesn't look like there's any bumper modifications here. And it looks like we do have the option to modify this thing at least a little bit. So I think that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Sometimes we have to make adjustments when we get in here and realize that, hey, you don't have the kind of mods that you want in this thing. But since we are doing the Interceptor build, we're going to go ahead and throw on the factory 18-inch steel wheels on this thing. Now, these will be painted black over time. We don't actually have the Interceptor wheels on here, so these are going to have to do, I think. But that's okay. I think we're going to be able to make this work. Now, front bumper options, only have the factory bumper option. That's not going to be a problem. Now, we do have the option for the sport rear bumper, which I don't think we're really going to need with the Interceptor build. Now, I think we are going to put on some side steps here just to help the criminals get in and out. Now, Interceptors, do they have side steps? It's something that I would have to Google, but I think we're going to go ahead. You know what? I don't think they do, to be quite honest. They just kind of throw your ass in there and tell you to deal with it. So I think we're going to go ahead and skip out on the side steps there. Now, headlights, we're going to stick with the factory options. Very rarely, you know, I can't say I've ever seen a police car that has had, you know, tinted headlights. Now, we have the light bar options here, but it doesn't look like we have any Interceptor lights like we did with the Crown Victoria. So I think we might be going with an undercover look here, which is that's totally cool. They don't all have to be like full-blown Interceptor builds here. Tail lights, we're gonna leave factory. Roof spoiler, now do we have the option to take it off? That is the question here, and it doesn't look like we do, which is unfortunate, because, you know, most Interceptors don't have a custom spoiler. So I think the factory is gonna have to do with this one. Now, when we do these builds, very often do we get every single detail correct. You guys might know from the, you know, the YouTuber build, sometimes we have to make compromises on the design and the way that it looks. So with the Interceptor builds, I think that's going to be par for the course on this one. Hood scoops, never seen a cop car with hood scoops on it, so I don't think any of these are really going to work for our build. But just to give you guys an idea of what it might look like had we not been doing an Interceptor build on this one. Like, this custom 15 is just off the wall. What are you guys doing to me out here? Now, one thing that I do like about 3D tuning is if you're ever doing race builds, which we have done in the past, this really gives you the opportunity to go all out and create some really out there cars. As you can see, the mirrors alone, you could add some real rice to your vehicle. Now, as far as the grill goes, we're gonna put on the blacked out Ford grill. Oh, it does look like we have the police grill, so that's going to be good. I like that kind of undercover with the little, what do you call them, the little sirens there in the grill. The base rack, now it looks like the roof racks here, if we could take this off, it might give us the option for some of those roof light bars. But I think for the sake of our undercover Interceptor build, we're going to be putting the factory racks, even though I wish we could. Oh, we can take them off. So a little fun fact for you guys out there. Pedestrian Ford Explorers actually all have roof racks, and police Interceptors, they all don't have roof racks. So if you guys are ever wondering if it's a cop or not, take a look at the roof rack. Now, the only exception to that rule that I have found from just observing and looking around is that the Ford Explorer STs, they can come with both roof racks and without it. Other than that, if you're looking at a Ford Explorer that's not an ST, that doesn't have a roof rack, that's a cop car, and I would slow down. Now, because this is going to be a undercover build, I think we're going to pass on the bash bar here. And you guys will, I think the paint job is what's really going to bring this car all together. Now, as far as our interior, we're not concerned because we are going to be tinning this thing up. Fender flares, I guess if we were doing like an off-road build, we might be inclined to go with a fender flare on here, but for this particular build, I don't think that's going to work for us. Now let's see what our options are for the doors here. Factory, I think the doors are all just not really any factory options. Trunk lid, we're going to pass. Now comes the decals. Now the thing about it is aerography is just a bunch of tribal tattoos from like the late 90s, early 2000s, which I don't think we need any of that junk on this car. Now that we got the build out of the way, very subtle, comes time for some deep window tint, I think, on this one, like as deep as it gets. And I think we can raise this thing, but I think we're gonna lower it. Most Interceptors, whether it be a Ford Explorer or the Ford Crown Victorias, they do have slightly lower suspension. Now what would this thing look like slammed? I don't think slammed is really gonna be necessary for this build. But now that we got that out of the way, it's time to hit up the paint job here. Now we're gonna paint the whole car here black. The dark blue is kind of what I'm leaning towards on this for this Interceptor build here. Now should we lighten it up just a little bit? Now it did look a little purple before, so I added a little more blue and then just made it quite a bit darker, and I'm pretty happy with the way that looks there. Next up, I think we're gonna have to black out the wheels. It's the only, oh yeah, there you go. Now we are talking business. When you see this thing coming up behind you on the highway, you better get the f out of the way, buddy. Let me just tell you that much for sure. And that's pretty much all I wanted to do with this thing. Turning on the headlights there. But now that we got all that out of the way, I think the only thing left to do is select a background, park this thing up, and as we often do around this time, put an end to this video. So as you guys can see, very low key, very subtle, really didn't do too much to this thing. Just took off the roof rack, lowered it a little bit, added that front grille, some tint. Very subtle, very simple. Now one thing I wish that we could change is maybe add the center caps. Like, I don't know why they don't have the Interceptor wheels when they have the Interceptor front grille. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but nonetheless, I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. For some reason, I just love doing cop builds cop car builds. They always do really well on the channel. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this one. I think it's about time to put an end to this video, as we often do around this time. So as always, I'm your boy Denali, aka Don Squaw. If you guys have any requests, let me know down in the comment section. I will do my best to get to them. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Just counting down the days until Forza Horizon 5 comes out, and then I will I'll be grinding on that, trying to win some cash, so that we can do builds like this on the channel. But yeah, as always, I'm your boy Denali. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. We are gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.
Don't die. Oh shit, where you going, bro? Don't be creeping on my friend. Don't be creeping on my friend. You and your homie. Oh, nut shot. Nut shot. Oh, buddy. Let's go. And your boy, man. Get him out of here. Oh, fucking. Oh, my God.